They played Bellevue Park, played Hagemeister Park, had to do something. City Stadium was erected when the school was built, right? Shortly thereafter, and the Packers moved into their home and spent some 30-odd seasons there.
Green Bay City Stadium, old City Stadium. Played 32 years there, 1925 to 1956. I think it's 87 players in Canton. Either played a preseason, most of them played regular season games there. Very few of the legends of the game didn't. The only two I can think of are Jim Thorpe and Sammy Baugh. All the other great names did. Bart Starr played there. Forrest Gregg played there. It was bare bones. It was mostly made of wood, and seated 25,000 at the end. And in the 1930s, when the Packers were winning championships, and one of the reasons they didn't play the 1939 NFL championship game here but played it in Milwaukee was because in the 30s the capacity here was around 13,000.
But it was a fabulous surface. That's all I heard.
All the old players loved the surface, and I think that was probably because it was located along the East River, or the Devil's River, as they called it in the day.
No kidding. But lush grass, soft grass. That's all I heard about from a lot of those guys who played there.
I remember when the Packers practiced there several years back that there were some complaints about the turf, and it kind of surprised me because one thing that hasn't changed is that the river's still there. But it probably doesn't compare to the job that groundskeepers do today with the current fields and some of the real/synthetic turfs.
What were amenities like for fans other than wooden bleachers? They have anything?
Well, I remember they had a little trailer that I think the Proskys brought in and sold some concessions out of, but no, there weren't. There weren't even restrooms there until I think it was the late 1930s. Basically, in truth, the men would go out along the wooden fence, the back of the stands, and the women would have to hold it.
That's good. What was it like for the players in those locker rooms? A lot of them changed at the hotel.
Yeah, for the Packers, they dressed at the Columbus Club, now the WBAY building, into the 1930s, and used that as their locker room. And it was a pretty nice locker room for the day. But in mid-1930s, they built basically what was a small wooden shack under the south grandstand at City Stadium, and the Packers began using that, but it's very small. Lockers were basically, they weren't lockers, they were a hook on the wall, and I think they had some sort of big tub in a room that they used as a whirlpool, just small enough for that tub and maybe a rubbing table for the trainer, and then I think there was a small area for the coaches. I'm guessing it wouldn't have been much bigger than somebody's nice-sized living room today.